Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I am Atlas. I'm joined by Wadid once again for the final match of the week. SANDBOX desperately trying to find a victory, but they're up against T1, who are looking to secure their third win in a row. Sorted out their season since that loss to DRX. By the looks of things, we'll have to see what SANDBOX are going to be able to do.
Yeah, even though they lost to DRX, they showed up kind of team composition that they were looking for.
Yep.
So they actually managed to almost get into their first win, but this time around it's again T1, the top 3 teams of LCK.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really rough, but still, I think there is a chance always.
Always, you know, that's exactly right. There are certainly veteran players on SANDBOX's side. I mean, you look at the players on this team. SANDBOX look good on paper.
Oh,
but unfortunately, just haven't been able to get it together on the LoL Park stage, which is unfortunate. Of course, their coach is still in quarantine. Yamato Cannon might be able to come in and save this team, but it won't be until week 3 of the LCK that he's actually going to be out on stage with the team. Been working very, very hard, but there's only so much you can do on a match day when you're stuck at home. So let's see what SANDBOX are going to be able to make of their final match of the week, and we'll see whether T1 have shored up their issues as well. As we have a look at the points of the match, 2 teams with the opposite momentum is an understatement if ever I've seen one, as SANDBOX have only won 1 map so far, and it was against DRX, the team that absolutely loves to try and draw out a series as much as possible.
Yeah, and also T1, probably they call them as a slow starter, but they're slowly actually climbing up right now with Elim especially. When Kaz was struggling about his early game, he just subbed in and saved his team. So I think this is already great news for T1. And also today again, we have Elim, so we can expect something that play more for the early games than play for late game.
We might have actually some early game plays done by T1. As we can see, stats are looking pretty good here for T1. On the side of SANDBOX, there's a few tenths here. Win rate with first turret is a sad stat, to be perfectly honest. But only 3 and 2 as far as T1 are concerned. Shows that, you know, it doesn't really matter that much whether you get the first turret or not. 100% of SANDBOX's wins this season were with first turret though.
Yeah.
So there's a stat.
So if they get first turret against T1, then there is higher chance that SANDBOX actually
Although
gets the game.
if T1 gets the first turret, SANDBOX lose 100% of the time. So that's dangerous.
So they fall really fast.
Yeah.
And we can see it from it. Team goal difference at 15 minutes was literally 3k goals, by the way.
Yeah.
3k.
It's definitely not a great stat.
No.
Gorilla Root, though, Dove, On Fleek, and Summit will be your SANDBOX roster. No changes or anything like that, despite the fact that they do have a very large array of players to put in if they would like to. It's just not likely that we're going to have Cabby, formerly Irove, coming in over Gorilla or anything like that. Here on the side of T1, you already mentioned that Elim is stepping in. Fun fact, Elim's currently sitting on a 32 KDA on the Olaf that he's played a couple of times. So he officially has double Cuz's KDA plus 1. Sorry, 10 times Cuz's KDA. 10 times.
I'm wondering what win rate he has for T1 as well, because last time when he joined in the spring split, he also saved his team. And
that's true.
Yeah.
Didn't play as many games, but yeah, definitely was pretty good. As we're going to have a look at our top laners, Canna with first in KDA. Damage per minute stat not too bad either, but Summit certainly has him pipped at the post there. Summit's 29.1% damage share, by the way, is huge.
As a top laner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, LS already talked about how good is Summit.
Yeah.
Even in a spring split. So, yeah, he is the player that actually can save a SANDBOX from the hell. And also, the Canna. Canna is playing for team always. That's why his isolated death is 9th place.
Yep.
This is already good story for T1 because they always want to play on Faker and Teddy, and he shouldn't be like the trap for T1 itself, you know? So I think Canna is doing already a great job for T1. Also, he carried some games as well by himself.
Yeah, has done very, very well. I mean, I've actually really enjoyed watching his Camille play. He's very good on that Champions. Played a couple of Ornn games, but we'll forgive him for that.
Yeah.
Also was our one player that brought out the Jax. One thing I do want to bring to your attention, Woodid, is the fact that T1 have a 100% win rate on blue side.
Okay.
They've played one extra game, though, on red side, and they've only won one game on red side.
Okay, so even though their team color is red, they are not good at red side.
Yes. The only victory that SANDBOX has was on blue side.
Oh.
So, look, if SANDBOX ever have a chance,
That's never
if
lies.
we're looking at side selection, then yeah, that's the one option that they have. So,
yeah. Currently, LM has 72.7 win rate.
and has a 44 KDA on Olaf of all time.
Oh my gosh.
And 100% win rate over a gigantic 3 games.
That is crazy.
I have a feeling he's only like... How many times? He's died once on Olaf, obviously. With a KDA that high, you can only really die once or twice, I guess, and play more games. We're going to have a look at the draft, though, as SANDBOX have already banned away Twisted Fate, Ezreal, and Set. T1, however, got rid of everything other than Varus. Please ban the Varus. What? T1? T1?
Yeah.
Hello?
I don't think it's even consideration. Okay,
Oh
they open Varus.
My God.
Okay, they
strap
open
yourself
Varus.
in, dude. Strap yourself in. We've got a long night ahead of us.
All the casters and analysts were talking about, okay, this is easy 2-0 prediction for T1, but however, if T1 does something really weird thingy in the draft, then yeah, something can happen.
Yeah, it certainly can.
It's
Like
already
leaving
happened.
Varus up. That's definitely a bad news bears scenario. This is a mistake that SANDBOX actually made recently as well. They left it up against DRX, and DRX slaughtered them with the pick. Obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very, very strong. Yuumi is being looked at the moment. 2 seconds to go here for T1 as they are going to settle on an Azir.
Okay.
And see what LM is going to lock away for the team. There's obviously a plan for the Varus, but I just don't know
sure.
whether there is, like, enough of a plan. You know, like...
Okay, it's Kalista.
Kalista, the hard counter to Varus.
Is it?
No.
That is our
No,
question.
there's no counter to... It's why is 100% ban rate? No,
Exactly.
Ah.
So we'll see it in the game.
He's a terrible kitchen. Let's just say that.
Okay.
There's no counter.
But anyways, I think SANDBOX is already building up for great early game. They have Varus, they have Syndra, they have all the tools that they can control and management to like make the dragon cycle for them as well, you know? So it would be really easy early game for SANDBOX, but at the same time T1, yeah. I mean, I heard that a lot of Korean teams are just starting to open Varus and to play against it. And that's what Daft actually said, that he actually practiced some Varus game, also played against it. But yeah, we'll see why Varus is getting opened nowadays in this game. But Gorilla, the Tom Kench yourself.
Yeah, he is the official Tom Kench.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking that. Does mean that Root's going to be very, very safe. Does make a lot of sense. We'll see whether T1 are going to take away a support or whether it's just going to be the jungle. And it looks like the Trundle priority will continue.
Yeah.
I think actually third pick on red side Trundle isn't as bad because you can ban away some of his poor matchups.
True. Like Graves and Kindred.
Indeed.
Or even Elise.
Or Nidalee. Or Fiddlesticks. Oh man. Okay, maybe you can't ban away enough counters.
Oh, maybe. But anyways, Fiddlesticks is not in the jungle anymore, it's mid lane. Fiddlesticks.
It is Middlesticks over in the LPL, but over here we have a little bit more of an emphasis. In fact, 100% of our games, I believe, Fiddlesticks in the jungle.
And also, even though Graves and Kindred is counter of Trundle, in LCK it's not that really great counter in the stats, you know? It's not popping off.
No.
It's not working out, the counter pick. So
It is on fleek. He is definitely a bit Lee Sin inclined.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the ban for that reason. It's the Ornn to be taken away from Canna.
I'm
C
wondering,
Trundle,
yeah.
ban Ornn, makes sense.
I'm wondering what partner is gonna Kalista have for T1 side, because maybe they have something really good into Varus for support.
I think it should be Kalista Rakan. That's what I think.
But good Varus players can always stop Rakan's dash though.
They should be able to.
With ultimate.
Yeah.
So, and also especially when they have Tahm Kench, it's pretty hard for Rakan to play.
It's looking a little bit blind Volibear-ish here for T1.
Yeah, and I personally really don't like blind pick Volibear.
Me too. So I'm glad that they stepped away from that one. Jace is going to be locked in here for Canna.
I mean, if they can flex Volibear into like jungle or top lane or support, then it can be a really great pick. But nowadays, it's most of the time it's top or jungle, and you already have Trundle, so
Yeah.
it's really blind picking Volibear on the top side. So okay, Gragas jungle with Lucian. Okay,
Lucian top lane?
Lucian top lane.
Oh dear.
They're making it really hard. When I saw Syndra and Varus and Tahm Kench, I thought SANDBOX has really juicy team comp already with easy champions. But right now, they're making it harder. Lucian top lane.
The Lucian.
It's not working out, by the way.
No, it's terrible. It's certainly been losing more than it's winning.
Even though you win lane,
Yeah.
if you reach to mid or late game, you just dash in and dies.
Certainly not good. I do like the Gragas though. I think Gragas is fantastic for disengage. They do already have a lot of pick potential and definitely peel potential for Varus. If you include both the explosive cast, the body slam, and the devour being available.
But also from effort, Blitzcrank. I think this is really great game for Blitzcrank because he can actually pull all the targets from SANDBOX, you know?
Yep.
They are all skishies, so free hooks.
I think that Blitz into Tahm Kench is inherently a great choice as well, so we'll see whether Effort is going to have a good performance, whether their lane phase is actually going to stand up to the might that is Varus. You always see this champion, you think it's a mistake that you haven't put a ban into it, instead banning the Olaf away from OnFleek. OnFleek still had a Gragas to go towards, but certainly not one of our known Gragas players, so did have to dig pretty deep to find that particular pickup. And didn't elect to go with any sort of anti-Trundle pick, like the Nidalee, like the Graves, like the Elise, things like that you were talking about. This is your T1 roster. It is going to be Faker on his Azir. As you saw in the video, pretty confident on this particular pick, but Dove knows exactly what the Azir is trying to do. He is in fact named after the Azir.
And yeah, the point is, oh, it's attack speed Varus, by the way.
Alright, well, congratulations on the win, T1.
I mean, currently, a lot of Varus players starting to try attack speed again, but yeah, as you mentioned it, I really don't like it. It takes so long time to have great game as AS Varus, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's why, probably the reason why they picked up Syndra to control early game, but still, you know?
Why not just go free win lethality Varus?
Yeah, and also, attack speed Varus is pretty good into tanks, you know, when you can actually hit the front lane.
Yep.
It's really good, but T1, they do not have front lane. They will try to kite out. They will try to just poke with Jace and maybe throwing some hooks and just pillar in it.
Yeah,
they
and
will
also
not just run into you, you know?
And if you're in melee range of Faker, he is definitely going to Shurima shuffle you. Like, this is not a composition that you can feel comfortable being in auto attack range of. So I agree with you entirely. I think it's going to be very, very tough for the Varus to actually make the lethal tempo work. But look, crazier things have happened as Summit versus Canna up here to the top side. Two pretty aggressive champions. Chase not going to have an awful time in lane as Effort's going to look for a hook. And he's not going to find it, as Teddy's already got some sticks into one of the caster minions.
Maybe this time around Lucian top lane is a bit better than before because you have that dance. And this is 10.12, which is, there is a broken death dance still. So even though you dash in, you can actually survive like a zombie. So probably that's the reason why they picked it up. And also, Summit is known as just Lucian player because he loves to play Lucian.
He also just loves laning phase, right?
Yeah. He thinks that he can win every single matchup as Lucian, so...
Well, he also thinks he can flash into 3 people and kill them all, which was certainly a poor part of the spring season. You see T1 already doing okay here towards the bottom side of the map, as to be expected. I still find it so perplexing that Lethal Tempo was taken by Root.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that Varus is getting pushed in.
Yeah, right?
Nowadays. Because, I mean, yes, we know that Varus got nerfed, but let's see on the top side.
All right. The Troll going to jump in on top of the Lucian. Good boot back there, but the flash forward from LM, and he puts up the pillar. Should be someone falling down. First blood going over to LM, who continues his reign of terror over the LCK in the early game.
And yeah, Lucian is already useless.
Yeah.
It's a feature, by the way. I talked about Lucian top lane with a lot of pro players, by the way, and they always say that, okay, so if you want to die, you should trade some kills. And if you are ahead in CS, then it doesn't matter. But he died without any kill trades or like CS leads, you know? So this dash was just so critical for Lucian, and it's gonna be make it really hard for SANDBOX side.
Yeah. And you got on Fleek. He's turned up a little bit late here towards the top side. Canna still has his flash. It was Elm that flashed forward. So Canna's going to be absolutely fine. Summon's doing his best to zone Canna away from these 2 minions, but he's not going to be able to move him out of experience range. And Canna should be able to push this wave in, although these 3 casters are outside of the turret. Has meant that LM's had to come back towards the top side, though, just in case there is that gank there. So I do like what Summit did with the lane. Let's check out LM.
There's no ward.
텔포 칠때 볼게. 지금 보자. 글 없다 이거. 보자.
There's no Gragas.
거의 잡았어. 거의 잡았어.
We got him.
잡았어.
We got him.
나이스. 위에 빠이게 먹어주면 좋아. 탐 밀어줄래?
Take the bot lane Scuttle as well, bot lane.
Oh.
And we're gonna push top lane. Yeah, so basically we could see that Elim is controlling the early game. And he is actually really good at early game.
Yeah.
And he knew everything that he has to know before you gank the top lane early, you know?
And
he
communicated
knew
it all to his team.
Exactly. He knew the Gragas position, he knew what he can do. That was just so perfection.
Really, really nice. So let's see whether LM can keep it up. So far, down a little bit when it comes to farm, but OnFleek's going to be able to farm very quickly on this Gragas as the new and improved Predator here as well. So he's going to be booking it around the map. And LM has also gone for the Predator start. Didn't actually have it for that top lane gank, but it will help him come back.
He's
trying
new Predator,
to attack, try and attack Summit. Cooldown's super low, so he's going to be booking it around this jungle.
And yeah, I mean, Deft already showed up that even though Varus got nerfed on his poke, it's still really powerful. For the early
hell
game.
yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still wondering why they choose to play attacks with Varus, especially when T1 has no tanks to hit.
Yeah, like this is the thing, there's no tank, so it would have been perfect to go lethality. It's a bit of a shame. Summit's also not going to be building that direction either. It's going to be the Essence Reaver and either the Black Cleaver and then into Blade of the Ruin King, or he can just go straight for an Infinity Edge and build more of the straight crit damage. Death's Dance going to be fit in amongst it as well. Summit finally does shove this lane all the way in. 16 CS in the lead, but that is a big wave that's been built up here for Canna. Just to through, so he's only behind by about 8. Yep. As he heads back home, and actually going to tag Summit there to stop that recall.
Because of the top lane, even though T1 has a prior on mid and bot lane, they are not doing drag that earlier. Maybe this time around they are looking for it. So it's still kind of working out for SANDBOX, you know, even though Summit died earlier. They are dragging jungler to the top side to make the space for Syndra and Varus Tamken bot lane.
Yeah, I haven't actually checked in with that mid lane too much, but Faker is currently in the lead when it comes to farm. That minion wave equalizing as Faker went for his first back. Lost chapter completed. OnFleek comes down. We'll grab that second bot side scuttler.
Summit dragged the jungler on the top side, so that's the reason why Onflick could get the second Scuttles on the bot lane.
I find it interesting that Teddy doesn't choose to go with Bang's Callista skin.
Oh.
Still a T1 skin, right? But he always seems to go Blood Moon.
No, it's not T1 skins. It's SKT T1.
Ooh, that's
different.
true. That's
Completely
true.
different.
I mean, it's the same, but different.
Same, but
Completely different. Yeah. That is true. Thanks for correcting me. You're right. Teddy's going to have to get his own one. We'll see whether T1 are going to be able to challenge for a position at the world's best. Last time we saw it, it was disappointing, but you never know what's going to happen at the end of the year. Especially a year like 2020 where we haven't seen very much international competition between the regions, apart from LPL and LCK, which we don't want to really remember. Certainly a good wake-up call for the LCK, though. Because if you've been watching the LPL, they still look absolutely terrifying.
yeah, it's still on the top lane. Jace versus Lucian. They can always fight against each other, so Observer is just mainly focusing on top lane.
It's a great game to be a Jace as well. The lethality Jace is going to be doing so much damage in the mid game. There is no tank outside of a Tahm Kench that's going to be doing anything. And so the poke of the Jace, where there's absolutely no counter poke at all, really, apart from, you know, barrels flying in, Dove searching for a Scatter the Weak stun.
Yeah, and also TK is not tank anymore in this kind of meta, that you cannot earn that much of gold as support and levels as well.
Yeah.
And especially when you're playing as Blitzcrank, you are just a squishy frog.
Yeah, effort's going to be pretty imperative here in this game. Haven't seen too much from him just yet, as he's just going to drive by the mid lane. Dove going to get control of that, push it all the way forward. Stinger done here for Faker.
It's just all about header.
Yeah, this is the rotation. No one is bottom lane as LM down to about half as Canna is pushing Summit out of that lane. Culling does come in. We'll see whether the 1v1 is actually going to be won here by Summit, but meanwhile Effort takes a bit of damage and the Rift Scuttler is going to be taken from by SANDBOX. Teddy looks to take down that control ward. Gorilla poke his head in here and we'll see whether LM's going to use that flash to try and steal this one away. It's an opportunity, but maybe wait for Effort to throw out a hook, see what he can actually find. Zonfleek is dangerous. Explosive Cask is available.
Onflick has no ulti or no flash.
Oh, there's the ult that comes out. Oh, the Fate's called to bring Gorilla all the way back. As the Herald is taken by Onfleek. They do pick that one up as well. It was a cute play by T1, but unfortunately didn't net them anything at all. They get themselves the Drake bottom side, but the Herald should be able to get SANDBOX back to a competitive position as far as gold.
They actually used that ultimate combo between Kalista and Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it was cute.
But after the hook, Aphod missed the airball on his Kalista ultimate, so it couldn't be like great combination. Oh,
that was very cute, yeah.
But anyways, SANDBOX, they got the first pattern, and we already checked that if SANDBOX gets first tower. Oh!
Canna solo killed Summit.
Okay.
Kind of need to check that one out, as there's the knock up onto Gorilla. Root in a little bit of trouble here as Teddy does get exhausted. There are so many Ren stacks into Root right now. He gets chunked down, but Effort, he's being devoured and just straight up kills the Varus. Okay, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 as Effort probably wants to avoid dying to the Syndra. But instead, Onflick's just going to smite him to death. So a 1-for-1 there towards the bottom side, but Jonas Strong, if we could just get a replay of Summit dying to Canna somehow, that would be super good.
Yep. And they are trying to get the first turret on the bot lane, but Faker is coming from mid lane.
Yeah. There is one ward, but it's not in the river. Probably have an idea that Faker is around, and they decide to back themselves away. So,
by the way, bot lane difference is really huge. It's literally 40 CS difference between AD carries.
Yeah.
And then Varus also died to Blitzcrank for no reason.
And remember, this is the battle of the Jin Air 80 carries as well. As Dove, he's been pillared, throws out an ult onto LM, but LM just straight up does not care about it. There's the hook. The flash is going to answer. As once again, a battle of the top laners as Canna this time going to push Summit out. Flash is available for both tops. What is going on up there?
Yeah, Canna is just smashing Summit out from the top lane.
All right, OnFleek looking to try and get the combo onto Canna. That's some way easy avoidance, and OnFleek is just straight up inted. Canna's going to be able to nail that 1v1. What is it with Gragas's and party casks today?
Okay, so the point is, OnFleek should know that Canna has flash because they should communicate even before.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was close.
That was close. And also, he should know that he has no flash for himself. But
Yeah.
he was still going for that. That was straight up inting the top lane.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. That's going to be Summit just getting caught out of position. Nicely played by Canna though, but really good positional maneuver as this was effort hex splashing over the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what started this one off.
I mean, his hook was not that great after that. He aimed for Varus, but yeah.
But then,
We don't care about the hooks.
yeah. And then punches the Varus and kills him there as well. So that was impressive. Wastes a bit of time. So we have a look at live. Another Hex Flash going to get effort over the top. Finds a hook, but that's a brilliant devour. Knockup does come forward as Gorilla gets taken down to half, but Varus grabs a kill. A three-man pushback from Faker, though, as he ends the life of the Varus, and now Teddy is just going to bounce himself to safety. A double kill for the man in the mid lane before he goes down. T1 are going to back away, and they will give up this first turret of the game.
That was insane play by Faker and Teddy, but at the last time, he just flashed into Syndra for no reason.
Yeah. I mean,
That made me laugh, actually.
Dove just pressed R.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look at all of your sweet mechanics. Here, have some Syndra. Oh, dear.
Oh, man. But anyways, that was insane play by Faker, and it's not done yet.
Okay.
Blitzer's coming.
Yeah, they were hoping that effort was going to get here in time. Hook not going to land. Scatter the weak. Pretty good ability. All right, this game has certainly been eventful, but it hasn't necessarily done too much to tell us exactly who's going to win, because the gold is very similar. But, I mean, the jungler and top laner are very tilted on the side of SANDBOX.
Got him.
Yeah. Did you say on fleek Opsor? That's what it sounded like to me.
He just said, got him.
All right.
And then after that, T1 started up the fight. Pretty weird. That's why Apple got one-shotted, but Faker, man, he made it.
Real sick.
Azir himself and Teddy just cut it out. Dodges Syndra's skills with Flash, and Faker just ran in.
Yeah, I don't know what the flashing forward thing was.
Okay, so I think Faker was already like pumped up with those kind of three-man tumbles.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was thinking that, okay, Syndra has no ulti, so all I have to dodge is his Q and W. So that's why like he kind of flashed into Syndra. He thought it was Syndra's Q skill, but it was actually her ultimate. So he couldn't end it up with the super play, but he did the super play of the ball lane.
Oh yeah, I mean that's absolutely what Faker needed to do. Now he's got his Nash's Tooth, still building towards his upgraded boots, but otherwise he's fine. As Summit, oh no,
Summit has Flash, but
on that culling was a little to be desired, and that's just too easy.
Yeah.
Versus one, and Canna's going to take down the turret. So you know what I said about not knowing who's going to win this game? No, we've definitely discovered that it's going to be T1. As Root, he does get his Blade of the Ruined King off and keeps himself alive for a long time. Kallista's going to fall down as well, and LM's going to get double killed on the back of OnFleek making his entry, and Shirley should be going over to SANDBOX here as well. Canna is going to get the bottom lane out of turret. I thought that was going to be good for T1, but thankfully OnFleek, they're at exactly the right time.
yeah, I think that was maybe unnecessary play by T1 because they were already pushing bot lane for free. No one was on the bot lane. They knew that SANDBOX has man advantage. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely go for it if I can hook Varus in there.
Yeah, I mean, that was really sick. But unfortunately, not actually enough to get themselves the kill quickly enough.
But what is this, by the way? They had vision. Summit literally knew that there is a Blitzcrank with Kalista. This makes no sense, but also T1, they knew that they're there, but they choose to take 3v4 as well, so, okay. Clown Fiesta.
Yeah, Dove just turned up and gameplayed Teddy off the map with his ultimate. I was paying attention to what the Varus was doing, and he took a while to die. But in the meantime, that bought enough time for Dove just to say goodbye, Teddy. Seems like Kana has his head screwed on this game, though.
Yeah, he's having...
I say as he is underneath the
turret,
turret, and he's going to miss that one. Flashes, tries to flash an ultimate from Syndra. Absolutely not going to do anything. But it's okay, survives.
You shouldn't say that he's playing good because you're cursing.
I'm cursing him so much, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But anyways, as you mentioned it, Kana is playing so perfect, and I don't think this game is all about Faker and Teddy. It's Kana who is actually controlling the game.
Oh, straight up. And if you put a Lucian behind, then it's just exponentially better if you're a T1 fan, because now Summit isn't a champion anymore. He's just he's just a behind Lucian, which doesn't really do anything at all. So not only do they now have a pumped up Jace, but okay, there's an on-fleek.
Hey.
Even the turret helping out there as Teddy's going to pick up the kill onto Gragas. Hook is going to miss. Devour is what allows them to get there, as Teddy's just going to pick up his support and keep him alive. And Faker is now just going 1 versus 4. Gets himself over the wall. Bit of a bait. That was very cute. And it looks like T1 are just styling at this point.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Styling.
Because it's only a 2,000 gold lead. It's still relatively close. It's Effort gonna flash, grabs the hook onto Gorilla. He goes golden. Effort still alive somehow as Subjugate keeping LM up, and he flashes to get himself out somehow. Unleash Power is not going to do enough. And Kana snipes out Root. I don't know how T1 aren't dying. That sidestep was beautiful from Teddy.
They are
some
just
freebacks coming in.
They are just styling on that.
It is actual styling.
Yeah, and they're just dancing on their face.
Well, Infernal Drake might just go over to SANDBOX for free, so maybe all of the styling may not have been to the benefit of good macro play, but that's fine. As Faker's going to get in, good flash there out from Dove as Teddy pops over the wall. No ulti going to work out just yet as Kana not going to be able to steal away that Drake. Dives onto Root, who flashes. He's stuck in the back of that pit, by the way, as El knows this. Dives right on top of him.
Nashor in 3 seconds, by the way.
Are they going to be able to collect it is going to be the question here. I'm not entirely sure. Giving away 1 Infernal Drake isn't the end of the world, but threatening Infernal Soul would have been so valuable for T1. A little bit unfortunate that they let the macro slip just a little bit and decided to play some For Fun League of Legends in there in the middle. And I say For Fun League of Legends not as necessarily a curse to T1, because it was some sick plays, but they're not necessarily fighting over anything other than control of the area, and if you have to go back because you're so low, it's not actually working in your favor as Effort looks for a hook and grabs it onto Gorilla. It was a back from behind on fleek there, but it's alright. Faker not in position to get to any Shurima shuffles. And T1 are just going to gather themselves vision around this Baron and try and take down some more turrets.
And yeah, SANDBOX, even though they do not have their top laner, Dove is playing so good right now. On Syndra, a lot of LCK teams had... Okay, no flash.
Yep.
Bye-bye, good night.
He's going to get punched up into the sky. That's going to be the 5th death for the Varus.
By the way, guys, Varus is OP pick.
Yeah. Not with these items.
Not with these builds, yeah.
Yeah, the build's just not why Varus is banned. It's a very weird choice here from SANDBOX.
So they are accelerating the game. T1, they have Kalista and Azir, so they can definitely...
Oh yeah, they can pop this Baron very, very quickly. Effort dives on over. The Fate's Call is going to be up, so he's not in any danger just yet. Gorilla's going to flash, gets himself out of the fight, as there goes the jungler. It's going to be a guaranteed Baron if they would like it, as Dove, you praised him, and so of course, he's going to be going down.
That's my bad, guys.
Yep. I'd already done it. I probably should have warned you that it's going to be on you as well, but I think it's actually my fault, so I apologize. T1 are going to take down this Baron very comfortably, as there is no smite available, and I think SANDBOX are out of gas. My favorite episode of Firefly, by the way. But Yeah, I don't know whether there's going to be much left in the tank here for SANDBOX.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a way or even a 1% of chance to SANDBOX to win this game, because it feels like just we are watching challengers versus diamond players, because it feels like it.
Yeah.
Because it's not organized at all by SANDBOX, and they're just keep running in.
But also, the thing that I find really sad is the fact that I think the game was almost over when Summit died.
Yes.
The first time, right? Because, like, how are you supposed to hope to contend with Azir in the late game, Kalista in the late game, and a Jace that is 4 times as relevant as your Lucian? Like, it's like 4v5 from that point onwards, so very, very scary.
Yeah.
And they had not lethality Varus.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it from this. They are just doing 1-3-1, technically 1-1-3.
Yep.
Nowadays, there's not many teams that doing this kind of rotation because of the team fight. Because one team can always engage on you easily with like TP buffs, like you get more movement speed so you can flank it. But yeah, T1 is just having fun on the Rift, and it seems like just so easy to snowball this game.
Yeah, 24 minutes in, 8,000 gold is the approximate lead here for T1. Effort's having a great time with his Hex Flash. The rest of T1 are having a great time destroying all of the structures that SANDBOX used to own. We're on the LCK Rift once again. We tried the Riot Rift for a little while. Back to the LCK Rift, that cute little flag. As Faker's going to take the opportunity to eliminate this inner turret. And Kenneth's going to do the same thing on the top side of the map. It's very, very standard Baron push play. As Summit's had enough, he's going to try and take down Faker, who does not have Flash available, as Emperor's Divide is going to be used. But it's not going to be able to keep the man in the mid lane alive. And Kenneth's still not actually able to get rid of that turret. So that might buy SANDBOX a little bit of time.
And probably they can get additional Drake as well, because Faker died.
Oh wow, yeah, true.
But
Teddy's going to go for the 1v1 onto Summit. Ardent Blaze is going to miss. Maybe there's too many sticks, but in goes Canna. Good night. Missed Dilution.
okay,
now
so
it's
they're
going to
gonna
be
lose.
4v4.
Yeah, and they're gonna lose both inhib now. They're looking for Dragon Fight. Yeah, Summit is currently 0-4-1. Having TP available, so probably he can join after 30 seconds.
Ooh, T1 giving up another Infernal Drake is actually a little bit of a worry. SANDBOX aren't officially out of the game yet, and the base hasn't been broken. You can see there is a big minion wave dying to an inhibitor turret. Let's check out Faker just overextending a little.
Yeah.
Let's seize his opportunity.
This is the reason why you do not 1-3-1 nowadays.
Yeah.
Because there is so many chances that you can get cut out. But yeah, Summit. I don't know how to express this feeling when I see 0-4-1 Lucian in my team.
Yeah, depression.
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 Is literally my team Lucian in solo queue.
Yep. Yep.
Lost lane, useless for the whole game, getting caught when we can snowball the game finally.
Probably yelling at your jungler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so good. There's a Fate's Call though. They're looking for Summit, but nope. Okay, never mind. They're looking for Dove. They're going to be able to grab that kill pretty comfortably as Shock Blast not going to find Summit there. As Faker threw out an ultimate. I think he was looking for a Gragas who's going to try and punt Faker back, but he's going to trade some flashes.
He also failed his combo again.
Yeah.
So Faker could actually flash.
Well, there's the hook back. The 2-for-1 special there as Gorilla's pushed on forward. Chains of Corruption come in though. And goodbye effort. Gorilla eats all of that grey health. That's going to keep him alive as Canna wasn't even in the fight. Now looking for the Empowered Shock Blast on Fleek, not moving towards that base gate. And I think this war of attrition is finally won by T1. It's not necessarily the cleanest, but beggars can't be choosers. They'll take down the inhibitor turret. And now T1 looking for that reset.
Maybe Faker's boots literally helped him to survive that Gragas combo. But anyway, still, it's on Flick that who failed Gragas combo again. So
Yeah. Gragas has been a hard champion to play today. Even Chovy was
guess,
having
yeah.
some issues on that particular pickup.
yeah, and they are looking for Dove. Even though Dove has flash, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you get knocked up and he's dead in that time.
Oh yeah, I mean he definitely failed the combo.
Oh yeah.
That was not because of Faker's boots.
Faker did flash, so technically it's not a complete failure, but still.
Oh yeah, this is complete failure.
This, look, there you go. You've been redeemed immediately, instantly. That was like the caster blessing. There you
Cast
go.
the blessing.
Nailed it. Gorilla's also probably going to fall down here as Effort's just waiting for the cooldown on his rocket
6
grab.
seconds. 5.
Yeah, he's
Four,
going real fast.
3.
Base gate. There's
It's
a
Rootsie,
turnaround
by
though.
the way.
Root's going to be there. Dove's dead.
Dove is dead for sure.
BTW. And now T1 are going to move towards the Baron. OnFleek was already dead. And this is going to be the freest Baron in the history of Barons that have been free. 11,000 gold is the lead. There is no way SANDBOX come back here. T1 probably talking about what they're going to do on the blue side when they are back on the Rift for game number 2.
Yep. Gorilla and Summit is trying to just erase the wave to an extra time to farm for Varus, but unfortunately you guys have attacked with Varus against 5 Skishu cons,
Yeah.
and this is complete failure. We already talked about.
Attack speed Varus with no front line against immense amounts of dive and poke. It's just not a good time. That was really
They're so good at
that
it.
was really sexy.
They're just so good at it. Never failed.
I think they might have failed once the first time that they tried it.
Yeah.
There were a few. I don't even know whether that was T1.
No, I mean they finished their combo, but they failed the team fight. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So there is no issues about their combos. This is probably the reason why. Oh man.
Oh my God! OnFleek's the lowest level in the game.
Jungle difference.
Jesus! And Canna's level 18, 6 levels ahead of OnFleek.
This is the casual game that we can simply call it jungle gap.
Well, the jungle gap as far as experience is very, very, very high. Not as far as experience in the LCK. In fact, LM is well behind OnFleek on that one. But as far as the experience on Summoner's Rift in this particular game number 1 of the last match of the week for week 2, yeah, LM is absolutely smashing OnFleek. Throws down the pillar. Shock Blast lands onto Root. Faker, Banshee's Veil at the ready. They are going to take away every single inhibitor. I think it's time for T1's first Infernal Drake. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. And also, this is the last chance for SANDBOX, because if they lose this Drake, and if they just give it up,
If OnFleek is able to win a smite fight 2 levels down against LM and Teddy at the same time, then that would be ridiculous. The Drake did go down to about 30 health though.
But yeah, anyway, SANDBOX, they lost all the laning phases. Maybe only Dove had great time in lane because he was not getting solo killed or dying 24/7. But it's Syndra, you know, who should have the early game prior to help your team for the early game.
Yeah.
That's the probably the reason why they picked up attack speed Varus, but he didn't do any. He didn't actually finish his job for his team.
Yeah,
Maybe pick up some kills on the bot lane, but that's not enough for Syndra, you know?
But also, if you're going to pick Lucian top, then go all in on the early game. It's all right, Faker's just going to go do the bait and switch. Still going to die, though, as Dove presses R on him, uncounterable. As now Teddy, he's going to try and bounce around this fight. There are a lot of sticks into Root here as he gets the Ren set. Dove now very, very low, doesn't have an R button to try and save this one. And now, SANDBOX are in between the enemy base and a Teddy. And that's not what you want. Relentless Pursuit, though, very close. But Teddy does have some minions to bounce around onto. and he's got a Death Stance to help him heal back up on top of his Blade of the Ruin King. So it looks like this inhibitor also going to be taken down as Teddy's taking matters into his own hands here as OnFleek does find himself a body slam, but Teddy goes golden, and now he's looking to finish this one off. He's going to be able to grab that kill, grab Summit as well, as this is the most fun a Kalista has ever had, by the way. He was untouched during that entire team fight, and now Nexus turrets are dealt with. Nexus will follow suit, a 13,000 gold lead, 32 minutes. Could have been one maybe a little bit closer, but I'm not worried about it. T1 certainly looks good as that was the super play. And Teddy, unofficial Quadra as he takes down the Nexus.
They're just having fun.
Yeah, that was sick.
I mean, obviously.
He was on the fountain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not sure if they're just trying hard, but definitely I could feel that they're just having fun. All the situations were not that perfect.
Like all game. All game.
Yes.
Even when it was even in the mid game, it looked like T1 were just having the best time.
Yeah, and like, oh yeah, guys, you have these kind of mechanics. Yeah, hoo-ha. Left and right. Just shake some booties, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's not something that T1 does a lot of, you know? Like, oftentimes it is just like we prioritize victory over everything else. But this certainly did look like a lot of personality for a T1 game, and might just show the position that SANDBOX find themselves in.
Yeah.
Because only winning one map for all of the LCK, this was going to be their opportunity, to be perfectly honest. Like, red side is not where T1 are the strongest. They haven't been able to find too many wins there, but moving back over to blue now for game number 2, I actually feel like draft-wise, things like that, it's going to be a benefit to T1.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really hard for SANDBOX because even though they had Varus first pick, they lost on it. They lost, and they are completely lost on the Rift as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. On the red side, you are kind of forced to ban those kind of OP AD carries, right?
Yeah.
And are they going to open Varus again? Because they lost on it. So they
I mean, if I was SANDBOX, I'd open the Varus because it obviously didn't do anything, did it? And then they can learn that Varus is supposed to build lethality items, and you can't reach him because his range is so high. And then, of course, your entire team dies to piercing arrows.
Yeah.
But you can see 80 carry difference in the end was certainly quite high. Kalista damage being that high is actually something that we only very rarely see. But Teddy was popping off towards the end, just able to do whatever he wanted in that last team fight. But I think this game was all about Canna. Canna was just so good on the Jace. He made sure that Summit was irrelevant and proceeded to then land the Shock Blast he needed to, come to Teddy's rescue on the bottom lane, things like that. And otherwise, just looked pretty easy for T1. But
yeah,
what I don't like are games where it feels like it's one team that loses instead of a team necessarily winning. And yes, T1 played very well, but certainly a lot to fix up here for SANDBOX. They do have an opportunity to, as we're going to go to game 2 right after the break.
이거 피우만.
미끄러짐.
이거 신드라 녹음 한번 깨봐.
쓰라 노플이야.
이거 빠지자 한번.
아야 볼만해.
되냐?
기동대. 그라 노플. 그라.
들어가자.
이게 뭐야? 나.
땡겨줄게.
싸워, 싸워네.
들어와봐. 루시안까지.
안녕하세요.
나 있다.
조식에 까우상하게 뭐야 이거 조식에.
그냥 조식에 못 없네.
뭐라고?
까우상하게 조식에 썼어. 야 끌어.
죽여.
그냥 빨리 끝내. 빨리.
이거 끌어줘. 제발.
빨리 끝내. 경기에 지장 간다 이거.
큐.
와우.
뱀.
뭔 일이었어.
나이스.
나이스. 되지.